Hey, what's up, guys? Megazord is back. Maybe. I don't even know how long it'll have been. I'm recording this one right after the last one, but judging by how I've previously been, it'll probably have been like a couple of weeks, or as Sun and Moon PU will have already been out. That'd be a couple of months. Whatever. The point is, I can't do intros, so I'm fighting Shadestep for round 2 of that same tour. And, as we can see, I have this neat little offense team. I showed it off last time. It's built around Agility Kingler with I did change a couple of things. I have, but the most crucial of that is that I changed Kingler from Sword Stance because I wasn't really using Sword Stance. The original concept of the team was around Dual Dance Kingler, which is cool because it's great against offense if you can get up that agility and sort of sweep through things, but it's also an amazing balance breaker. Like, not much wants to take on a +2 Kingler, and it can Sword Stance on some things like a Resting Bronze or whatever. That being said, I took Sword Stance off of it, and that makes Altaria on his team ridiculously hard to kill. I have Golem, I have Raichu that doesn't have HP Ice, and I have Mr. Mime with Dazzling Glaive. That's it. Slower Mon with inaccurate move that could maybe get Toxic stalled, especially if he spams Roost, because I know he's defensive Altaria looking at his team. But defensive Altaria runs enough speed for Golem. It might actually outspeed it naturally, I don't know, but it runs enough speed for Poniard, which is faster than Golem. It's that, it's Mr. Mime, and that's fucking it. And that's before I have to deal with Krokorok Pursuit trapping things. Going into this matchup, I'm not necessarily too worried, just because the team puts a lot of pressure on Lumineon, as you can see, and if I can remove that, get a Brox, double around smartly, maybe I can handle it. So that's sort of the plan going into it. I want to get a Brox as fast as possible, so I'm going to lead off with Monferno. He's going to lead with the Lumineon. I'm like, great, he'll probably U-turn out. He actually Toxics. I completely expected a U-turn, but he's going to go for the Toxic. I'm like, alright, he'll probably defog then. Might as well get in Raichu. He's actually going to double Toxic. Good play by him. If anything, I probably might have U-turned to catch the Cacturn, but this is working out great for me. Like, sure, I'm double Toxic, but at the same time, I got the Rocks. He's going to be forced to defog. I don't really mind, as I can just Volt Switch out on the Boof right into Kingler, because nothing really wants to take a superpower. I do think, if anything, he might go ult though, so I'm going to knock off as he actually goes Lumineon. I'm like, fantastic, at least part of my plan's working out. Get to knock it off, it's not getting any healthier. Get to superpower, it's pretty low. He is actually just going to defog. And this at least is going well. Lumineon's practically dead. I don't have to worry about it checking Cacturn, checking Monferno, checking Golem, or checking Kingler. Unfortunately, I knock off thinking he might switch. It actually doesn't kill. Definitely a misplay on my part. I just assumed it would kill anyway. Fortunately, he says he doesn't want to go for a Skull Burn. He's just going to go for a safe Toxic, and he goes Krokorok, and I just know he's going to Pursuit, and I can't let that happen because I need Kingler. No, excuse me, that's later. I am so sorry. I'm not going to do this. Anyway, I'm afraid of the Pursuit at this point, but I realize he's Scarf, he won't kill me anyway, and I do have Healing Wish. So this is the point where I need Death Fodder, because nothing's switching into Earthquake. Not even Cacturn. So, because it's banded, by the way, if you don't know PU. It's a banded Krokorok, that's the good set. Last round we faced a Scarf, that's the shit set. Anyway, he's going to go for the EQ. See if I can get back on track. And I need Death Fodder, and I decide on Raichu. It's checked hard by Assault Vest Bouffant. It cannot break Bronzor. Rodin can check it if it hits Blizzards, and it's not HP Ice for Altaria. It's pretty useless. That allows me to get Cacturn in. It's pretty much just a free, I think I click Superpower, because I'm like, maybe he'll go Boof, and I'll get to kill things early. As he actually goes Altaria. Unfortunate, but that is going to let me go right back to Monferno and get Rocks up. And at this point, nothing I have really kills Altaria except for Mr. Mime, so the plan is basically just get up Rocks, kill everything else, and then kill Altaria with Mr. Mime. I'm going to have to pressure him hard and literally just pick off everything else as quickly as I can. That is the only thing I can do. I just need everything else dead to win. And that's sort of the game plan you'll see me going for. I'm going to go right into Mr. Mime though, because I do have to force out the Altaria before I can kill other things. I'm going to double the Golem just because I know Shadestep isn't the most familiar with PU, so he might not think of Banded Fire Punch as being a thing, it is a thing. He's going to stay in to just throw out a Toxic. I don't know if he was surprised by that or not. By the way, I'm going to go for another one. Just barely miss out on the 2 KOs. He gets the rest, unfortunately, though, so not going to be able to get rid of the Bronzor there. I was just assuming he might switch out after the next one. I'd at least get some solid chip on it, but I'm just going to go right into Cacturn as he goes Altaria. I'm like, okay, I'm Sash Cacturn, I'm not Life Orb. Let's see how much it does. Maybe damage, please? First off, he's faster. Second of all, 38%. That's pretty shit. And it's at this point that I actually start getting much more worried than I was. He's going to Heal Bell, the Bronzor's going to wake up. I call this is going to be very difficult to deal with. I have to double just straight out. And I'm going to choose Kingler instead of Cacturn, because Cacturn he can switch into. Kingler is just a strong knockoff, whatever I want to do really. He is going to sack Krokorok because Altaria can't switch into the knockoff, and this is the point where I'm like, he's faster, but he can't kill me because I knocked off his Choice Band. And if I am pursuited, then I'm sort of screwed. So I might as well just kill him with Superpower, and then Healing Wish Kingler back up later. If I have to. Of course, Mr. Mime is still useful for Altaria, but this is sort of the point where I realize I gotta save Kingler because I'm gonna have too much trouble with not Monferno, with Bronzor, because the only thing that kills Bronzor is Monferno, and Monferno is hardwalled by Altaria, and Cacturn also kills it, which is also hardwalled by its Altaria. Excuse me. The point is, if I don't have Kingler, then everything that kills Bronzor loses to Altaria, and there's no way I can break it. So I'm just gonna have to Healing Wish, even though Mr. Mime is my best way of killing Altaria, just so that I can kill everything else first. Damn, I watched this game right before doing it. I'm still forgetting everything. Anyway, I'm gonna get another kill with Kingler, because that's just the plan. Remove other things and then try to kill Altaria. I do think he's gonna Volt. I sack Monferno just because hardwalled by Altaria. He ends up actually tricking me though. At this point, I know he knows I'm Scarf, so I'm gonna pull the double into Golem, and this is just key. This is just key. He is going to stay in and roost, probably assuming that I'm gonna Fire Punch, and I know that him predicting me to double or Fire Punch or something, because I've been playing super aggressive the whole game, is pretty likely. So I'm going to go for the Banded Stone Edge, which does like 70%, and I miss. And that is crucial. That miss really hurts, because I needed that Altaria dead. At that point, I wouldn't have been able to switch into anything, but now he can just go right to Bronzor, who's still healthy, and this is the point where I'm like, why did I take... Why did I take Swords Dance off of King there? So at this point, he can just sack Bronzor. He doesn't have to worry. I can't really kill Altaria. And the reason is, Golem's toxic, it's pretty low, and if Altaria comes in, as long as Golem is weakened enough, he is free to just spam roost until I die. I'll probably miss. Besides, Rotom puts on a lot more offensive pressure. So here, I make a little bit of a misplay. I figure Monferno is the only thing that can't kill Altaria, so I better sack that to the Rotom. But then I realized, hold up, he's not choiced anymore. He tricked away that Scarf, which means that he actually kills everything unless I win Sucker Punch 50-50s with Cacturn, which he could totally avoid doing by just switching Altaria right into the Cacturn, because it can come in and then just spam Roost. So I sack Monferno. I'm going to go Golem instead of Cacturn, actually, because then I calc and I realized Cacturn and Sucker Punch didn't even kill. I knew something had Sucker Punch 50-50s. Anyway, same point applies. He could have switched out into Altaria, but that would have been super risky, so he's just not going to do that. He could have tricked also. But either way, he knows he's completely safe, because I cannot kill the Altaria. And, you're just going to see me spam moves and, like, hope. I'm just going to skip ahead a bit, like, on my Crab Hammer. Okay, there goes Kingler. I go Cacturn, because maybe Cacturn can make Altaria slightly weaker, so that maybe Golem can do something. Golem actually can't get anything done. Like, I'll just spam Dark Pulse. He kills me. He is at 55, but as long as he's able to roost up, it doesn't matter. Golem's going to die in a couple of turns to Toxic. And this is the point where I crit him. Because I crit the Stone Edge. And to be honest, like, it is definitely, in a way, a justice for missing the earlier Stone Edge. Because if I hit the earlier Stone Edge, none of this mattered. Alt was dead, and I just won the game. But at the same time, my chance of winning was, barring a crit, I had to hit 3 Stone Edges, and I am going to get that lucky. Just like with plans, I had to hit 3 Hydro Pumps, and I am going to manage to do that. I definitely prefer this kind of luck to win or lose, though, because at least, like, I did what I could to put the odds in my favor, and I am going to end up getting that. If I miss the Stone Edges, like, that's not as bad of a way to go as if they crit me. Nothing I can do about that, but I chose to have Stone Edge. I chose to put that on the line. And fortunately, I'm going to crit to make up for that earlier dodge. Still a very, very narrow game versus Shadestep. Going to game 2. I bring this new team I built. Hey, I made a new team. Hey, that's pretty cool. Except it's not that cool. Because if you look at the team, I believe that my Rotom F switch-in is like Raichu, I guess? I don't know what I was thinking. Well, I know what I was thinking. I was thinking, I'm not a great builder, so hopefully this is good. I'm really not. I have to test things practically, and I didn't get enough practical tests with this, it seems, because Rotom demolishes this team. Like, holy shit. So after this round, that Prinplup's a Clefairy. I don't even know why it's Prinplup here. Like, oh right, it's to take on Golem better. With Clefairy, it's Golem weak. But at least I know that. I didn't realize how Rotom weak I was until I went into this. I do recognize his team, by the way. I believe it's Lockjaws. I'm not sure. But it's like standard defensive Nasty Plot Behemoth. Maybe Calm Mind. Doesn't really matter. And he's defensive Stoutland. That's the other thing I remember. Especially defensive Stoutland is another one of those. Especially defensive Stoutland, Bouffalant, and Ursaring are things people picked up because they're very anti-balanced. They're very hard to kill because fighting type is just so rare in PU. This is a Teddy thing, by the way. Teddy came up with these. I think they're definitely starting to fall off, like not being as good, but still like something to keep in mind. Can be actually pretty hard to break for this team because we'll see Spadef Stoutland can eat hits from Alt, can eat hits from Raichu before it gets Nasty Plot up. My best chance of breaking him is Swords Dance past the Floatzel, which is what the team is around. It's Stealth Rock Prinplup, not on Mawile because Mawile is too busy Swords Dance passing, and that's definitely a viable late game strategy if I can just weaken the Pelipper a bit. That's sort of what I'm going to try to play for. So he leads Rotom. I know he is I know Rotom's a big threat from turn 1. So my plan to handle this is, let's go Altaria and stay in, assuming he won't Blizzard turn 1, thinking how stupid would I have to be to leave my Altaria in on a Blizzard turn 1 when I have at least a Prinplup or something. And he does Volt, so hey, I get that right. But yeah, this whole game is going to be like, what? How bad is Rotom? He goes Stoutland. I'm just going to drop a Draco because I think it'll do decent damage to everything. Fucking chewed. Good lord. That did nothing. Offensive Altaria is definitely a bit weak. That is just a defining factor of it. I know it's a bit weak. But I do like using offensive as opposed to defensive. I think it's a bit anti-meta at the moment. A lot of offense teams can't take it on too well. So he goes Golem. I'm going to go right into Prinplup. He predicts that very nicely with the Toxic. But either way, I'm just going to toss out Stealth Rock. I need... Oh no, I yawn first because I think he's going Pelipper. And at the very worst, I need to keep that Rotom like in check somehow. Because then I can go Raichu if he wants to Volt Switch. I am going to Stealth Rock. He decides a frustration because obviously he's Sleep Talk, defensive Stoutland anyway, Rest Talk. And that's going to get off some solid damage. Prinplup looking pretty low. I do try to go Altaria, forgetting he's Sleep Talk. Like in the game, I was like, oh, it's fine. Nope, he's Sleep Talk. Completely forgot. That was just me being stupid. What can you do? I'm going to Roost. It is actually offensive Altaria with Draco, Fire Blast, Roost, Roar, which is a set I really, really like. It's a lot of fun. Like, you can just roar things once you're at -2 with Draco, and like, hey, that's setup opportunity. It's not. So yeah, very fun set. Try it out if you want. I'm going to go Poniard as he's still sleeping. It's not a true turn sleep because I yawned him. Unfortunately for me, he doesn't get the wake. I'm just free to toss out a knockoff because pretty obviously Monferno is coming in here. Stoutland doesn't really want to take on a Poniard. So I might as well just cripple it before going back to Altaria, which is my switch into that. Turns out he's slack off. He is bulky Monferno, which makes sense given the team, I guess. I mean, it is a little odd, but everything else has some kind of recovery or is bulky except for the Rotom. So having that not die too early makes sense. I'm going to go Pawniard on the Stoutland. Like, missing a Draco doesn't really matter. And Frustration does solid damage to that. Like, for even though it's defensive, that's a 102 stab move from 110 attack, so it's no slouch. I do knock off again, trying to maybe catch him, predicting me to predict the Monferno or something. But nope, I'm going to have to go right back to alt, and I think once again I'm going to drop a Draco. Because my plan here is weaken the Stoutland, and then... No. My plan is get in Mawile on the Stoutland. I wanted to weaken it and then go Mawile, but I'll take just simply doubling the Mawile, predicting it. Because Mawile on Stoutland equals Slow Baton Pass, and Slow Baton Pass equals Nasty Plot Raichu. And as you can see, Nasty Plot Raichu is definitely a bit difficult for him to take on. I have Focus Blast, and at +2, Focus Blast or Thunderbolt is murdering his entire team. And I get it on Pelipper, which is just great. That's what I needed. I played for that. And now we're going to see, like, I have to make a choice. Do I Nasty Plot and maybe he Scalds? Or, and here's the thing, if I Nasty Plot and he goes Golem, he's Spadef. He'll get lefties, he'll get back up to Sturdy, and then at that point, if I want to Focus Blast, it'll cost me my Raichu. And that's if I hit. So I figure, you know what, Golem wouldn't be a ridiculous play. I'm going to try to catch it with a Focus Blast, but he actually chooses to go Behem. I have actually no clue if Behem chooses a +2 Thunderbolt. When I said +2 Raichu kills his team, I don't know if it kills Behem. Based on that damage, I'm assuming it does, but I can't calc because I don't know his spread. He does catch my Pawniard very nicely with Signal Beam, but now that he's weakened, it'll definitely die to a +2 Thunderbolt, so I'll take that trade. And I'm going to double right back into Raichu, trying to catch that Monferno, and at this point I can Nasty Plot, but I might take a close combat. I decide to predict him to stay in, and I do catch him, because he doesn't have the Eviolite that is dead. Rotom comes in, and at this point, like, Rotom's scary, man. I'm just going to sack Prinplup, because honestly, I don't really have anything to take it on. He tricks away his Scarf. On the one hand, that means I can't, like, predict Volt or Blizzard, but on the other hand, Raichu is faster, so I'll call that, like, you know, it's a solid play. Like, I'm not going to say it's terrible for me or great for me. Either way, Prinplup is Death Fodder here, which means if he wants to defog, I will not be able to get Rocks up again, and Rocks are really nice for pressuring him. I am going to go Raichu and just fire off a Focus Blast, because I assume Behem will die. It was like at 80%, then Rocks, Focus Blast, T-Bolt, should be dead. As he just sacks Rotom. I don't know about that. He had to sack something. I guess that was part of his plan. But I am going to go Altaria, because I think he's going to Signal Beam to kill the Pawniard, obviously. He can't really switch into Pawniard at the moment. Like, Pelipper can't come in to knock off after Rocks at the health it's at, so I can go alt and just roar him out, because that's all I can do with him. And I pick up Golem, and at this point it would look pretty stupid to stay in, but my reasoning was I need to have him off Sturdy so that Floatzel can win once I pass it Sword Dance. That is still my win plan. I can Sword Dance up on the Stoutland. So I do leave alt in, and then at this point I can't actually switch into Golem, so even though Stone Edge would do a lot, like, there's nothing I can do about it, so I'm just going to roar him out, as he ends up Earthquaking, predicting me to not be a fucking idiot and, like, go Mawile or something. Behem comes in. I am going to go right to Mawile on it, predicting, I don't remember what, like, Signal Beam does a bit, and then, no, okay, I figured he'd Psyshock, because he knows I have Roar and I'm at -2. So I'm going to go to Mawile and Sword Dance, because at this point, like, he'd have to have multiple boosts to be able to beat Mawile, and he won't have the chance to do that, because I'll be able to Sword Dance and pass out, or just Iron Head him in the face. Either way, it's pretty much a win-win, because I can Sword Dance, and if he stays in, I'll just kill him with Iron Head, and if he switches out, I'll be able to Baton Pass the boosts. But here's the thing. I am Adamant Scarf Floatzel. That is not, like, a real set. This is something I made up to receive Baton Passes from Sword Dance Mawile, because I figured water resists are very low at the moment. As long as they don't have Politoed, Floatzel's probably pretty good if you pass it +4 and it's a Scarf and it's faster than everything on the other side of the screen, right? But I do need to be at +4, and at +4 the roll is like 43 to 49 off the top of my head. Not enough to kill Pelipper, but he can't burn me because I'm Water Veil, and with the like 30% chance of flinch, I am willing to risk that as my win con, because the chances of me not flinching before he can kill me with Scalds or like U-turn is pretty low. So I'm going to Sword Stance. He can't 2-hit KO me here. I'm going to go for another Sword Stance, and unfortunately he's going to crit the Scald. Only way he could 2-hit KO me here. And at this point, I'm genuinely not sure if I can break him. Like, I have to sack Mawile here. It's not really doing anything once it's that low, and now could actually be game. Floatzel did pretty much just win there, but I'm definitely not out of it. I can go to Raichu, and I just click T-Bolt. I know if he's going to go Golem, he revealed Toxic, which means he's not going to be Sucker Punch, so I can just Focus Blast that. So he's going to sack Pelipper, which he needed for Floatzel, but he didn't know that. He might have assumed I'm Hidden Power Electric or something. I'm just going to T-Bolt to weaken the Stoutland, because I also have to put that into range of Floatzel. And now I'm going to send it out and hope it does enough. Like, give Floatzel its trial run. He actually switches into Beheeyem as I Waterfall. Does very little, I know. But I'm going to assume he's going to Signal Beam here, so I'm going to Waterfall one more time. Get a flinch. I really don't know what he would have clicked. Definitely a bit of Revenge Axe here. Like, if he Psychicked and killed me, that could have just been the game. Because at that point, I'd have to go Poniard and kill him, and then Poniard's in range of Stoutland's Frustration, so I don't think it could win. But if he just clicked, Recover, he would have been safe. But if he Signal Beamed and didn't kill me, it wouldn't really have mattered. At this point, I do know he's almost certainly going to recover, so I'm going to go right into Poniard. If I get this wrong, all that means is I get to force him out with Altaria's Draco Meteor, and after Rocks, he will be in range of Floatzel's Waterfall. So Floatzel is well on its way to sweeping. I go Poniard. He has to sack Beheeyem to deal with it at this point, especially if I Sword Dance, that could be game. And after the knockoff, he is in range of Floatzel's Waterfall. And regardless of not getting past the boosts, because Pelipper died to Raichu's Thunderbolt, Floatzel can go ahead and clean up the remaining members of his team. The roll on Stoutland is actually a roll. I believe it's like 80 or 70 something % in my favor. Like, it's very much in my favor anyway. He's max HP, but he has no defensive investment because it's just max Pedef. And Floatzel is going to be able to clean him up. A very close game. I definitely was pretty concerned once I crit, but fortunately just Floatzel in and of itself was too much. Like, you can see there are a lot of teams that have iffy water resists. They rely on like maybe one water resist, and then maybe a couple other things that are just generally bulky to blanket check. And sometimes they don't even have that one water resist. They have like just blanket checks like Beheeyem or Clefairy, or maybe their water resist is like another offensive water type that dies. People just aren't running water resists. It's something a lot of PU players have commented on, but not a lot of people are taking advantage of it, and I figured this team might be good to do that, even if it loses to Rotom. But yeah, I might share it once this tournament's over, but for the time being, I'll keep it safe. Just Floatzel in general, very cool mon. I think it should get more usage. I really don't know why it doesn't. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. This was definitely my favorite series in the tournament so far. Very close. Shadestep's a cool guy. And yeah, see you later.